What's up everyone, I am Tim Oates on bass, and in this video I'm going to critique my own work. So in previous videos I'd mentioned that being in a band isn't always about just playing music. Sometimes other things are needed. And one of the things that I bring to the table in the bands I'm in is video work. So today I'm actually going to be going through and critiquing myself on a video that we just released with Burden Affinity. Now notice I didn't say criticize, because criticize usually has more of a negative slant to it, but critiquing yourself, actually having a critical eye, looking at your own work and going, how can I make this better next time? So when we put out a regular video, we actually work with Thomas of Kill Devil Films. He does some amazing work. I'll include a link so you can check out some of the work that he's done. So hiring a company to do videos every time you have an idea, it gets expensive and oftentimes it's really not feasible. So we save working with Kill Devil Films for our larger videos, the bigger productions, things like that. So we did want to make a couple of playthrough videos, and I actually have been making videos for a couple of years now. I've been, slowly learning, upgrading my skills, upgrading my equipment, and I was kind of at a point where it was like, well, I'll try something new. I've never done a full song video like this before. Might as well give it a try. So we did. We actually shot 2 videos. We already released one. It was the playthrough video for the song New Year, but I need to actually start editing the second one, Nothing More. So as part of my learning, I'm going to go through and I'm actually going to watch the video with a critical eye, jot down some notes of things that I would want to change, so that way I can apply them for the next edit that I do. And I figured while I'm doing this, why not bring you along for the journey? All right, so the first thing that I noticed here is the color correction right here at the beginning is a little inconsistent when I go to the previous scene here. As soon as I hit this corner, it's actually a little brighter, a little overexposed. So that's something that I want to watch out for, is the consistency in color correction. Full transparency, when I did this video, when I was editing it, I had just started learning how to color correct. It was not something that I had been doing previously, but I've done a lot more color correction since then. I'm still learning. I'm still definitely not at the level that I'd like to be at, or a level where their videographers are. But I know I can do a better job here, and going through with a critical eye is pretty important. So that's one thing I'm going to note. Pen and pad ready to go. All right. So here's another example of some inconsistent coloring with this similar angle. But if we look here on myself, you can see the color is pretty crisp. There's a little bit of overexposure here, but not much. The whites are a little bit blown out on this baseboard thing here. But on the next scene where David's in, it's much more blown out. I mean, this is just unusable. This is far too overexposed. The fretboard's kind of washed out. The lighting is reflecting off the guitar here. That's more of a shooting thing. I can't do too much about that, but it's good for me to know the next time that we shoot something like this, that I need to watch out for the reflection of lights off the guitars. So in this frame, you can see a really good example of the difference in the coloring. Just look at the pillow here. You can see how vibrant these purples are and how faded out these are. This is from the overexposure issue. This pretty much applied to the entire David scene. And what I did, and this was my mistake, is I actually color corrected each one of us differently. So I started with David, did the color correction on him, and kind of applied it to everything with him in it. Did that for me, did that for Tony. That was a mistake on my part. I was thinking, since we were wearing different clothes, have different skin shades, things like that, needed to color correct us individually. Definitely not the case. This cut I did because of the matching harmonics we're doing, and I wanted to show a close-up of the fretboards, but I probably will actually do that for all 3 of us. Not necessarily to go in the video, but actually just so I can see the color correction side by side. So I'm going to use this trick when I go and do the next one, so that way I can make sure that we all look the same, like the pillows on the couch, things like that. Let me back this up. This is something that I really wish I would have thought of. All right. So the very last take we did, I had all of the tripod shots done. I had all of the slider shots done, solo work, group work, but I was doing slider shots of just Tony and David on the couch. And at the last minute, I said, hey, let's do one take of each song. And I grabbed my camera and I did a handheld kind of run around, right? They just played all the way through. And I just grabbed the camera and I was running around trying to get different angles. And I love some of these angles that came out. Being able to play with the depth of field by getting the super close ups of the fretboard, things like that. There's a lot that I actually tried to pull from the one take that I did and tried to weave it in as much as possible. Next time, I'll definitely do more handheld shots. All right. So in this cut, I was trying to kind of morph between the three fretboards, kind of at a single angle. It's really not that good. But it's definitely important that I know that this is a cut I'm not happy with, and I need to work on that next time to try to step my game up. Here's an example of, I've got the grip here. This is the light stand, and you can see the extension cord on the ground, things like that. When I say it was a last minute thing, I mean I grabbed my camera and I just started running around shooting. So, like I said, I'll know for next time. I do like this overhead shot of Tony and David. This was a handheld shot. I actually just kind of held my hand up. Quick tip: if you're doing any video work and you're trying to hold stable, elbows in. It'll help you keep your hands a little bit steady. Random little video tip for you. And now I know. So that slider shot I think is really cool coming out. Going back in, I think it could be better. This is one where I had the idea going in for that slider shot. Execution isn't there. Probably what I would do in this case if I was re-editing this is instead of kind of rushing back in, I would just have it go out and then probably cut to something completely different, reset the framing, and then cut back where it's already zoomed in. So I don't remember all of the shots that I have in Nothing More, but when I go through, if there's anything like that, I'll definitely keep that in mind. Can I believe what's in front of me? The second verse of New Year is definitely more focused on bass. So I knew that going in. I knew that this section I was going to have to use more footage of myself, but one of the things I want to do is make sure that it's balanced between all three of us pretty evenly, give the right focus at the right time. So it was tough for me to put so much focus on myself, just trying to be a good bandmate and keep things kind of even. Hopefully enough of the emphasis came through being able to keep Tony and David still in the picture enough during some of their moments. And but yeah, this one was pretty tough for me. So I'd love, if you've seen the video, give some comments. What do you think in terms of the way that I edited myself into the video, specifically during this scene? Did I not do enough? Did I do too much? Is it just right? Always good to kind of know that, because one of the things when you're critiquing yourself is sometimes you're off the mark. Sometimes you need that outside influence. So I invite you, make comments. Let me know, how did I do on including myself in the video? I really dig this shot. This real close up on Tony's guitar. Funny, the way that I had to get this is while they were playing, so David was sitting on the right side of Tony. So to get this angle, I actually had to climb over David with the camera. He's a trooper. Good job, David. One thing I'm actually very happy with the way I edited is the fingers are matching up with the music really well. If you're critiquing yourself, you also have to be able to congratulate yourself when you do something well. So congrats, Tim. Good job with that. So I'll be honest, I don't think Tony's cut was particularly good. It's a really cool solo. It's a very hummable solo, which I kind of really enjoy those. but I don't think the cut's that good. And there's a few reasons for that. I had more angles of Tony playing solo, which actually had really good finger work. That was part of one of the original cuts, but the angle I was shooting at, I was focused on the fretboard and not realizing that kind of in the center of the, yeah, the center of the frame was, I don't know how to put it. I was zoomed in on Tony's crotch way too much for far too long, so had to cut that all out and try to work around it. So the final cut of his solo just ended up not being that good. Sorry, Tony. I'll get you next time. I do like how that little 3-panel guy turned out. Please hold while I do stuff. So that was my own critique for myself, for my edit of the New Year video. There's definitely some things that I would do better next time. I would shoot different. I would edit different. Very curious to see how these notes help out when I'm doing my edit for nothing more. But the biggest thing is looking at yourself, really being honest with the work and trying to make improvements from there. So I'll actually be doing a breakdown of the writing process for New Year. There's a great story there. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the little bell, that way you get notified when new videos come out, like the writing process of New Year. Until then, you keep making beautiful music, and I will see you in the next video.